Time for one more.
Switch 5-0. Jack killing it.
Very clean. He looked great in practice the last couple of days. He's got to be happy with that first attempt. Let's take another look.
Oh, here's that switch nose grind. There you go, Jack looking good.
We have a new leader, Jack Curtin, with a 6.7, jumping up into first place. But here now, Felipe Gustavo.
That was my pick, starting out with a switchback tail, making him look good. He's going for the switch flip. Manual. He didn't keep the manual down. Yeah, you know, the mani pad is interesting. It's like, it's enticing. Yeah. Everyone wants to skate a mani pad. But it's that call, like, should I skate it or should I not? Switch 50-50.
Felipe is another guy who's got all the talent in the world. Struggled a little bit in the first Select Series event in Brazil. Came back with a vengeance in Spain. Threw down that 9.
Oh, yeah, the 9 club. 360 flip nose grind, 180 out. I remember, it's one of the things I specifically remember from Barcelona.
I expect more of the same for him here today.
Nollie nose slide. Heard the buzzer.
Let's take another look at Felipe on the mani pad.
Oh!
Almost.
Switch flip manual. Didn't quite hold on to it.
So a 5.6 for Gustavo, putting him into third place. And just like that, we begin with attempts number 2.
That was super hard. Switch 180 nose manual. Yunus Amrani. Nollie 180 switch crooks. Wow. Hard tricks back to back. Now, I remember Yunus in Brazil not doing so good.
No.
Here. What? What? Nose grind, nollie flip out, hanging onto it. That kind of trick in a run is no joke. I'll be honest with you, I've never even seen that before. Nose grind and then a 180 on the rail to switch backside 5-0. Okay. Or on the hubba. Go figure.
So that's going to do it. Take another look early in Yunus's run.
Oh, so good. Might have got a redo on a game of skate right there, but he made it. That's called a contest make.
But you see that pop. So here's Denny Pham on his second attempt, trying to best that 3.7 as he sits in fourth place.
Nollie front crooks is looking pretty tight right there from Denny.
Again, this is just heat 1. We've still got 2 more heats to go. So these guys aren't just skating against the 4 other guys in their heat. They're skating against all 15 dudes out here today.
I don't know how he just fell on a crooked grind earlier. After that nollie front crooks. What?
Oh.
Going ballerina style out of it.
And again, Clem, you start to see as you get a little bit more familiar, definitely the difference in that layer of the experienced vets are the guys that know how to time out their flow sections, those 45-second runs to the T.
You got it. You got it. Yeah, and Denny, you know, he's first time in it.
Still learning the ropes.
That's right. Hey, some of these guys, you know, they can be pro or top am. Sometimes they maybe have skated a handful of contests. A lot of guys just don't have a bunch of experience.
So here's Tim Zom, who's sitting in 5th place. Wants to improve upon that 2.8.
Wow, going the distance on a back lip slide. And you can tell Tim has the quarter pipe skills. Wow, backside Susky grind, I think that's what it was from that side. Right into a nose grind, skating super fast. You don't need too many pushes on this course because it flows really well.
Zom's so raw with his skating, and to the earlier point, it's such a flowable course, this one, more so than what we've seen throughout the 2013 season.
It's that wall of quarter pipes in the back. It really turns you around nicely. Had a little private session the other night.
I bet you did.
You know?
I thought I lost you for a couple hours.
After we kicked everyone else out, then we got our secret session.
So Zom scoring coming in at a 4.5. He'll hold on to that one, jumping him up into 4th place. Here's your current leader, Jack Curtin.
Nollie nose grind. He does that so easily. Nice frontside 5-0 transfer. Kick flip, front 50-50 on the little hubba. Doing it.
The DGK Pro just skating with so much class.
Hey, I gotta say, DGK all day. I'm so backing him. Such a fan of that whole crew. Switch nose grind. Whoa, whoa, making it happen on that 50-50.
So Jack closing in on 10 seconds.
I think right there was, I don't know what I'm going to do. And that was an afterthought on that back lip.
So he'll attack the hubba one more.
Switch 50-50. Jack Curtin putting it down. Another nice run. Other than that back lip, the thoughtless back lip, his run was great.
Yeah, very comparable to his first at 6.3, so he'll hold on to his 6.7. So here's Felipe Gustavo trying to jump out of third place in that 5.6 for his first attempt.
Starting with a switch back tail again. He didn't get his run how he wanted, so my guess is he's going to try to do the same one. So yeah, settles again for no manual on the switch flip. It's a tough one. That's a tough call to go for the manual or not. If you don't have it dialed, it is really, really a tough call.
Especially in your flow section attempt, because it can really screw with your timing.
Yeah. Now a nose slide on the hubba, making its way back. He was going for the 180 switch crooks right there, had to settle for a tail slide. That happens often on that trick. You see it pretty regularly. He was going for the crooks on that one, ended up in a nose slide. Man, not working out for Felipe.
You're big. What's going on, Clem?
Hey, I'm just backing him. He's my boy. I've known him since he was a little kid, and he couldn't even speak English.
So we take
Such a fan.
look.
There's that tail. Well, he's going for the switch crooks. Got the tail slide out of it.
So a 4.5 for Gustavo. He'll hold on to his 5.6. And Heat 1 flow section officially in the books. And it's Jack Curtin and Yunus Amrani leading the way with a couple of 6.7s. Flow section of Heat number 1 officially in the books. It's Jack Curtin and Yunus Amrani leading the way with a couple of 6.7s. Ryan Clemens, your pick, Felipe Gustavo. He better pick it up in the impact, man.
He's going to have to. He can. He can. I like to see him do it.
Check out this course, huh? What is this, sort of Bavarian beer garden?
You know, Joe C. from CA Skate Parks killed it on this one.
I love it, man. No detail goes unturned. You know?
Man, he's psychotic about it almost. He's crazy out there getting the details done.
The touch of each host city in the course is beautifully constructed. So Heat number 1 going into the impact section. Here's Yunus Amrani with attempt number 1.
Ooh, coming out with a hard flip, not being able to hold on.
Again, each skater getting 5 attempts here in the section. We count the 3 best scores. So you can afford to kick a couple away. Here's Denny Pham.
Looking forward to seeing Denny's skill set on this, on the big set right there.
So a couple of bails to start off the section.
Got Tim Zom rolling in.
Been looking forward to watching this guy skate in the impact.
He's like, I'll take the hubba. Back Smith. Looking good. There's the uprights on those hubba, those X's. They're just too cool.
We take another look, Clem.
Looking good. Pointed down. It's a proper back Smith.
So a 4 on the dot for Tim Zom. That jumps him up into first place. Here's Jack Curtin.
Nollie Crooks. Popping out nicely, under control.
This is where the strategy comes into play. You want to make some nice, safe scores to get on the board and allow yourself to take some chances on those last couple attempts. Here's Felipe Gustavo.
Heading up switch tail slide, and he's got it so good. Yep. He knows he can do that trick so easily. I wonder if Felipe's thinking strategy right now. I hope he is. Switch tail slide coming off perfectly. He's got it like that.
A 4.7 for Felipe. Jack got a 4.8 previously. And here's Yunus Amrani on his second attempt.
Got a hard flip so easily.
Again, Brandon Graham joined alongside Ryan Clemens for a qualifying Street League Skateboarding Select Series. The top 6 dudes will be going on the final a little later today. Denny Pham trying to be one of those as he kicks away his second attempt.
It's going to be tough for him. It really is. He just stepped into the arena with the big guys. It's a big deal.
Step into the arena, you are right. Here's Tim Zom. Looks like a crafty vet out here.
And, you know, a solid nose grind. Maybe team manager, company owner Brad Staba coached him a little bit on this one because he's got it.
A 3.3 for Zom, jumping him back into second place. And here's Jack Curtin.
Heading up switch with switch frontside 5-0. Wow. How he makes such a hard trick like that looks so easy is beyond me.
And again, as we take another look, Clem, just the experience of this being his second event with this format, you're already seeing that comfort in his bag of tricks coming through.
That approach was so good. Everything was textbook. And there's Felipe doing the same thing.
Speaking of textbook,
he knows he's got it. Jack did the same trick for his first move out.
So Felipe with a pair of 4.7s. Taking a look at this nollie crooks.
He's got it so easily. Popping right off. Knows when the hub is going to end. He's got it.
So Yunus Amrani with his third attempt.
Woo. Go for the 270 out of the tail slide.
So that is his second bail. He can't afford another one.
That's a tough one to go 270 out of on the angle like that. You really got to move quick. Wow, nollie heel. It's like you got a shifty out of it too. That was very proper. So that was 3 times. It took him 3 tries to get one.
So a 6.2 for Denny Pham, which is actually a section high here at heat number 1. But here's Tim Zom.
That's one of his go-tos, back nose blunt. Surprised he actually fell on that.
That's Zom's first miss of the section. Here now, your current leader, Jack Curtin. He's got a 4.8 and a 5.5.
And he is just checking the tricks off the list. Switch nose grind. So perfect.
A 7.2 for Jack Curtin.
Judges were feeling that one.
Let's take another look.
His approaches to his switch tricks are so good. He was one of the first guys to be able to do a switch nose grind on a rail on a regular basis.
Here's Gustavo currently in second.
Switch back 5-0.
So
3 tricks, 3 makes.
After a couple of 4.7s, he gets a 5.5 on the board, staying in second place. Attempt number 4 for Yunus Amrani, sitting in third.
Wow. Getting out of that. Such a weird twist because, you know, your body might not catch up with the with your upper half of your body doesn't catch up with your lower half.
As we take another look,
there you go. Now you're catching up.
An 8.0 for Yunus Amrani, a section high, jumping him up into second place. He says, Clem, I want to be skating this final a little later.
And the judges know. That's why you got such a high score on that. They know. Coming 270 out of that tail slide on a bubble like that is not easy. Switch big spin. Denny Pham putting it down. Wow. He's surprising me at this point.
Look at this. So he needed a couple attempts to get his feet under him, but looking good.
He's got the impact dialed.
A 6.0 for him there. Here's Tim Zom sitting in 5th place.
Having trouble with the back nose blunt now.
So that's Zom's second miss. Gonna have to make it count on his 5th attempt. And here's Jack Curtin still in 1st place. What's he got for an encore?
Ooh, going for the switchback Smith. Going P-Rod style on us right there.
Unable to follow up that 7.2. That's his first miss of the section. Felipe Gustavo, an 8.5 would actually give him the lead here.
Oh, it would be close on that switchback tail.
That's definitely an 8-range trick if it's pulled off well. So we move on to the 5th and final attempts for guys here. Here's Yunus Amrani at 3.7, gives him the lead. That'll do it.
Wow, nollie frontside 360. That was nice.
So a 7.6. Take another look.
Look at that.
So Yunus Amrani skating his best event to date here at the Select Series.
Got it. Going for a nollie backside heel. Denny Pham not landing it. He would have been a contender right there for this particular section.
So Denny stays in 4th. Here's Tim Zom looking for a big score.
Can't seem to handle the back nose blunt today. It's not working out.
So 3 straight misses for Tim Zom as he sits in 5th. Here's Jack Curtin. If he wants the lead back, an 8.9 would do it.
I'm not sure what he was going for right there.
Yeah, you could tell.
I thought he already did the switchback 5-0, but maybe that was earlier today.
He's frustrated with himself there. A 4.4, so he will stay in 2nd place. And rounding out the attempts, Felipe Gustavo sitting in 3rd.
Ooh, that was a trick of a lot of controversy in Barcelona, the switchback tail.
It's a P-Rod Special.
Yep.
Which Nigel Houston also put down.
Which I'd never seen Nigel do before that day. I was like, okay.
So let's take another look.
We got Felipe saying, I can do the switchback tail too.
So clean for Felipe Gustavo, a 7.6. So that puts him in, keeps him, I should say, in third place. So Heat 1 officially in the books. And it's Yunus Amrani leading the way at 28.2. Very impressive. But Jack Curtin and Felipe Gustavo not far behind. Santiago, Heat number 2. Stick around. Series, Manny Santiago, who is skating in Heat number 2. As we take a look at this list, Clem.
Manny's like the Nigel of the Select Series.
That's right.
Tough to beat.
Here's a look at what Manny has done thus far at X Games this year. Putting it down proper in Brazil on his way to the very first Select Series win.
Seems like it was forever ago, but it wasn't that long.
And then it was Barcelona where he cemented his place, crushing it in the Select Series event, actually qualifying into the Street League final where he took third place.
Yes. I think some of the other veterans of Street League were gone. Uh-oh. Man is a contender now.
Well, he is a guy that is absolutely built for this format. Up next, though, to start off Heat number 2, Adrien Bouillard.
Adrian's fun to watch. He's spontaneous. Straight out France. So he's one of those guys that you just don't know what he's going to do. Probably didn't plan his run out too much. You don't know what you're going to get. Or maybe he did. He's super good.
He's
wow.
Looking good thus far. Again, each skater getting 2 45-second runs. We count the best score here in the flow section.
Little nollie heel right there. The nose Manny to 180 to switch Manny is a great one that he just did very easily.
So Bouillard closing in on 5 seconds. Room for one final trick.
Wow, what a great run. He's got a good hard flip. That looks super good.
Yeah.
Flawless run. I wish that hard flip would have counted.
Here we take a look at him hitting the pad.
That's it. Nose Manny. Quick 180 to switch Manny.
So here he is on that final flip. I don't know if the judges counted it. They may have, though. A 6.8 as it came off right after the buzzer. Here's no stranger to the Street League format. Greg Lutzka.
Starting out with a 270 blunt. And it makes it look so easy. Actually, I was watching this morning. Lutzka was killing practice. And he told me, I've been up since 3 a.m. I'm ready to skate, man. And Felipe Gustavo's like, man, it's early. Switchback lip. Lutzka putting it down. And he's so planned out. He's so ready. He wants this. 180 nose grind. Just super easy for him.
Effortless for Lutzka. He's ranked number 2 in the Select Series. Remember, the top 2 guys at season's end, Clem, actually jumped into the Street League for the 2014 season. So there's a lot on the line here, but Lutzka is shaping himself up quite well.
And you know, Lutzka is so calculated. He knows that. Yeah. He knows where he stands. He knows what he has to do.
So Lutzka with a 7.0. Par for the course with Lutzka. He's been crushing it in flow section so far this year. Up next, though, Fabian Lane.
One of the new faces out here.
The second of the 2 Germans.
That's right. Ooh, nice frontside blunt slide.
This is my first time seeing Fabian skate, Clem. I don't know about you.
Same here. I saw him out on the course this morning when I was hanging out, and I was like, who is that dude? Oh, must be Fabian. Switch front board. Skating solid. That's the P-Rod pop out. Pop out and turn around. Whoa, 50-50 up the wrong way. That was nice. I didn't know that was coming. Putting together a solid run.
Timing it up well. One final trick as he hits the impact section.
Frontside 5-0. Man, look at that energy and hustle.
One miss away from that being a really great run.
That front foot was looking stylish on that front blunt slide.
Look at this up the rail.
Feeling it. Nice run.
So he's 6.5 for Fabian Lang. But here now, your top-ranked Select Series pro, Manny Santiago.
Coming out swinging. Kickflip back 50-50, which is super easy for Manny.
Now, Clem, you were telling me, I noticed it at practice yesterday. really bad case of food poisoning over the weekend. Definitely looked like it took it out of him.
Yeah, you know how some people say, oh, I got food poisoning.
It's like, no, you're just sick.
Yeah, well, you know, he was in the hospital.
This was real food poisoning.
Yeah. Man, he was hooked up to an IV in Ocean City, Maryland. On his way here. So we didn't get to skate in the dew tour there. He must be hungry now, I'll tell you that much. 360 shove, lip slide. I had a big debate with that trick with him. Is it an impossible or is it 360 shove it? He calls it a 360 shove it. So do I.
That's what we will call it. So a flawless run up until that point for Manny. You know he's going to come back for that on his second attempt. As his score comes in at a 6.7. Taking another look.
That's what he started out with. Kickflip back 50-50.
A staple of Manny there.
So easy for him. Adrian Bouillard going the distance on the back lip. Same trick Tim Zom did.
Again, as you look at the standings, you might notice that these guys, Adrian in at 7th, they're competing against the 2 other heats skating out there today. So it's not just against the 3 other guys in heat number 2. They're skating against all 15 dudes out here today.
Don't know why he just tried that right there, but go figure. He was on a roll right there for a minute. He did 4 tricks in about 15 seconds. Woo! Half cab nose slide, 270 out, not landing it. So close.
So he's closing in on his final 5. Needs to pick up the pace here if he wants to throw down one more.
Turning around super quick, going for the 360 flip, not happening. You know, he had all the elements of that run. He just kind of really put it together right.
So a 3.2, Bouillard will definitely hold on to a 6.8 from his first attempt. Again, this is qualifying. The top 6 guys from the qualifying will move on to the final immediately following this event. Here's Greg Lutzka sitting comfortably with a 7.0 on his first attempt.
270 nose blunt. Like nothing for Lutzka. Frontside nose slide. He is so determined. 360 ollie, not really even reverting right there, just going 360.
Arguably the most consistent guy here in the sled series.
You got it. Switch back lip. Solid 4 tricks. 180 nose grind.
And again, Clem, times his run, maybe only Manny times it better than Greg Lutzka.
They're both contest veterans. Been doing it for a long time, know exactly what they're doing. I saw him do that in practice 5 times this morning. He's shaking his head going, what's going on?
Uncharacteristic slip up for him there. His time will expire.
Still has a...
So a 6.8. We take another look.
There's that 360 ollie.
He'll hold on to that 7.0 and stay in 6th position. So here's Fabian trying to best that 6.5. All of the guys' first scores, though, in the flow section here in heat number 2, really impressive.
Yeah, that frontside feeble was very good. But that pop out, walk around on that quarter pipe, I would deduct some points on that one, if possible.
From your mouth to the judge's ears.
Got it. That's why I'm not judging. I'm just commenting. Great thing about analyzing. You sit and give your opinion on what you get, what you think. But no, this dude's ripping. First time I've ever seen him. He's a good skater. Just, you know, that's the whole thing with not being very experienced in contests. You know, you sometimes, and I hate to use this word, but coaching. You know, you need a little coaching. It's just friendly advice, really.
Totally, and you know, the Street League format is different and unique than any other contest that these guys might have skated in the past. So that strategy has to come into play. Lang's score coming in at 2.2. He'll hold on to that 6.5, staying in 9th place. Here's Manny Santiago trying to best a 6.7.
You know, I'm a big fan of giving 100%. That's why I'm such a big fan of Manny. Yeah. He just goes for it, you know. I went out and talked to him the other day, just asking him, hey, you know, what's changed in the last year, Manny? Like, you've upped your game. What is it? And he just said, he's like, I just want to do my best. I just want to be the best I can be. But it's that influence of who he hangs with. He's hanging with P-Rod. He's hanging with Mikey Taylor. He's hanging with Chris Cole, the best dudes. And that's why he's got a great switch flip like that over the bar.
The Ammo Pro has won the first 2 Select Series events. Will he make it 3 today? As he closes in on a final trick here in the flow section.
Just a couple seconds left. On the buzzer right there. Kickflip front 50-50.
There's Manny. More personality that any skater out here, I don't care what discipline.
You're right. And
no one's more vibrant than Manny Santiago.
And you know, Brandon, that's what makes it, right? Yeah. Isn't that what makes it fun to watch skateboarding?
100%.
It's like everyone can do the tricks. That was awesome.
So a 6.8 for Manny Santiago, jumping him up to 7th. Just a little bit later today, vert skating going down. The impact section, heat number 2. Stick around. Impact section for heat number 2 at Streetleague Skateboarding qualifying.
Adrian Bouillard starting out with a 360 flip. Textbook, too.
Bouillard impressed me in the flow section. More of the same to start off the impact. Again, each skater getting 5 attempts. We count the 3 best scores. Bouillard jumping up in the 5th position. Here's Greg Lutzka.
Starting out with a nose blunt slide, getting some points up on the board. He knows what he's doing. That's specifically what he was skating this morning when I was out on the course. He was all about the impact section, specifically about the hubbas.
And you got to like that strategy, right, Clem?
I mean, you know, anyone that's calculated and plans ahead, I'm a fan of. Nice nose grind. Fabian Lang, our local German.
So Fabian put some points on the board, a 3.2. Again, those skaters are trying to get into those top 6 positions to qualify for the final. Here's Manny Santiago.
It's his move. Kickflip front 50-50.
Been there, done that, says Manny Santiago.
Does it that easily.
Taking another look at Manny slays off. So that 6.2 for Manny jumps him up into the top 6, 5th place overall. And here's Bouillard on attempt number 2.
Going for a nollie heel. It's interesting how some skaters skate the hubbas and some want to skate the gap. You get that preference. But what's great about the courses being switched up all the time.
To have
wide
the options.
Yeah. Let's go with the switch 5-0.
Let's go, fan of the hubbas after a 5.4 on attempt number 1, a 5.1, and that jumps him up into 4th place. By the way, Tim Zom officially eliminated out of the top 6 as he's dropped down to 8th.
That's all we'll see from Tim. Nollie 50-50. Oh, and not a make, huh?
I don't think that will count. Judges agree, as that is his first throwaway. Here's Manny Santiago.
I don't know how that just happened either. Those hubbas are interesting because they're wide. But they're thin enough to get your board all the way over on a board slide.
So Manny kicks away his first. He'll stay in 6th. Here's Adrian Bouillard on attempt number 3.
Going for a kickflip over the hubba. Board got kind of caught on the back foot. Didn't quite happen.
So that's Bouillard's 2nd miss. Here's Greg Lutzka trying to jump up in the standings. That'll do it.
Big spin, nose slide. 3 tricks, 3 makes for Lutzka.
Very smart play. A 5.4, a 5.1, and now a 7.5, jumping him up in the 2nd place overall. Look at this. Super
Look at that
slow-mo.
catch and positioning on the nose. Boom. Lutzka nailing it. You know, he does like that switch 5-0 we did earlier. It's like you know he can do it, but you don't see it all the time. It's almost like Lutzka switching up his trick selection. That's just my take on it.
But you like that. You like to see
You do.
that. Yeah.
I think especially with Lutzka, where you're so used to seeing the same tricks with him. Yeah.
Manny.
I think the width of the hub is messing him up. That's what I think.
I think so. So that's his 2nd miss. He cannot afford another one as he sits in that bubble position of 6th place.
He does that trick so easily on a regular rail. There's that kickflip over the hubba.
Bouillard sticks it on his 2nd try. Attempt number 4 for him there. A 4.9, that jumps him up into the top 5. Take another look.
Nice angle. So he was looking back at the hubba.
So here's Lutzka, who can actually take the overall lead with an 8.4 or better here.
What? Kickflip front crooks. Are you kidding me?
Greg Lutzka, if you need him.
Did you see Richie the filmer's face right there? He was just as surprised as I was.
You can't miss Blonde Ambition. Richie Valdez down there.
Look at this.
An 8.0.
Very nice, man. Very nice. That Lutzka is Well, let's get ripping.
So that is a section high here in the impact section. Greg Lutzka with that 8. Here's Fabian Lang sitting in 8th place.
Going for a nollie nose grind, only getting a nollie 50-50 out of it. Not happy with it.
So just a 1.6 for Fabian. Amazingly jumps him up into 7th place.
Yeah, well, the judges knew what he was going for, so that wasn't the same trick, but yeah.
Wow, Manny Santiago with his 3rd straight miss. And Clem, this is not the Manny Santiago that we've known to see this year.
You don't see this too often. That's a little disappointing, and knowing Manny, he must be beating himself up right now. Woo! Nollie heel. Perfect, Adrian Bouillard.
So Bouillard just sticking these flip tricks. A 6.2 as we take another look.
Wow. He didn't even squat down. That was nothing for him.
So here's Greg Lutzka. As you can see, Manny checking out the ISX scoring. The beauty of this is the guys get to see their scores instantaneously. Wow.
Whoa. Kickflip, backtail, and fakie. Lutzka destroying the impact section.
That easily will give Lutzka the overall lead. Another 8.0.
Look at how solid. Hop right up.
Man on a mission Greg Lutzka is today during qualifying. He's looked super comfortable on the course.
There's that nollie nose grind. Yeah, Fabian. Took 3 tries to get it, but he got it.
So that'll jump Fabian into the top 6, a 5.4. So here's Manny Santiago, who right now is on the outside looking in. Remember, needs to get into the top 6 to get into the final. Going to need a big trick here. A 5.2 or better will get him into that final group. What's he got?
I'd like to see him land anything at this point. I don't know what he was going for, because he already did the kickflip front 50-50.
So a no score for Manny, and that's 4 straight misses, and that officially eliminates Manny Santiago. Shocking, Clem.
Well, this really is. I almost don't know what to say. I didn't know we would have to actually talk about Manny not making it just to the finals of Select Series, much less winning it.
So again, Manny Santiago is the top-ranked Select Series pro. Each of these guys does get to drop their lowest score from this season, which at this point it will most certainly be this event for Manny Santiago. But shocking development thus far here in qualifying. But it's Greg Lutzka putting it down in a commanding lead, 1st overall. Yunus Amrani and Jack Curtin following up. But again, the big story thus far, the clear-cut favorite, Manny Santiago, unable to move on to the final.
I don't know what that was all about.
So we will not see Manny in the final. Heat number 3 coming up next. On to heat number 3 here in qualifying. Leading off with Chris Fanner, Evan Smith, Ryan DeCenzo, and Albert Nyberg. Very interesting lineup here for heat number 3, Clem.
It is. No doubt that they're 4 shredders. I'm interested to see what Fanner's going to do, if he's going to ollie over the whole course, maybe the whole house right there. He can ollie just the whole thing.
Again, each skater getting 2 45-second run attempts. We count the best of the 2 scores. Here's Chris Fanner on his first attempt.
Are we doing anything with the best hair today? Because Fanner is killing it.
Already has the gold for that.
Yes. All right, let's see what he's speeding up for here. Well, look at that. Look at that. Snapping over.
So Fanner closing in on 10 seconds.
Back 5-0. He's going flawless so far. Oh, no, he fell on the quarter pipe. It's like he had the beginning planned out, and then the end half, he's just like, whatever.
It'll be interesting to see what he brings to the table on attempt number 2. Just a 3.9 for Fanner there, as he sits in 10th. And here's Evan Smith starting from the other side of the course.
I like that way he started in with a beam plant off the deck to tail. Back 270 front lip, and then a front wall ride.
Another just raw shredder here.
Trick to trick to trick. You can't even call him fast enough as quick as he's doing him right here.
He may get more in these flow attempts than anybody else out here.
Wow, he's really putting it together nicely. Look at that front wall ride. Ollieing up to it, smashing it. He told me that that bottom piece of trim was too low, that he keeps hitting it. Ooh, that line right there, until he just fell, was remarkable. That was really nice.
He'll try and bust one more.
And he does with a front boneless. That was a nice run.
Always good to see a little boneless as you take another look.
You know, the tricks are good to mediocre to good.
Yeah.
But he put them together so good. I wonder how the judges are going to reward it.
Here's his one fall in his run, but a 6.7, pretty respectable score. And here now, Ryan DeCenzo.
Front feeble, ollie over the gap, no problem. DeCenzo's got the training skills, don't forget. 180 to switch crooks. And he's also got the contest determination.
Yeah.
He knows how to ride a contest run.
DeCenzo, similar to Evan Smith, Clem, skated a lot better in Barcelona than he did in Brazil, as you could see him getting a lot more comfortable with the format.
Yeah, as well as his ankle getting better. So when he skated Barcelona, he had not really been skating too much. He was in rehab full time, which, you know, of course I knew via Instagram.
How do you get news anywhere else?
Of course.
DeCenzo, as time runs out for him on his first attempt, he averaged a 7.1 in the flow section in Spain. We'll see if he can best that here as we take another look.
Pat Nolly Crooks, the last trick he did in that run, the switch Smith grind. Gnarly.
A 7.7 for DeCenzo, so he's well above his average. Very nice first score. In fact, that's the top flow section score of the day.
Got Albert Nyberg coming out with a difficult trick.
Nyberg put it down in the X Games Real Street video contest.
Yes. He looks like he's having a good time out there. Give him that much with his board slide. Fakey wall ride. Okay. So far, he's got a good team manager run. Then he goes, the manual just for the front blunt kickflip out. Hey, is he confused?
Albert, I think, is just trying to get his bearings straight, figuratively and literally, as time expires. I don't know how many tricks he got in there. I'm over/under of 4 there. Again, Brandon Graham and Ryan Clements with you here today at Street League Skateboarding Select Series qualifying. Chris Fanner on attempt number 2.
I think he was going to gap out to that rail and change his mind.
Again, the top 6 skaters from qualifying will move on to the final immediately following this. So a lot at stake as these guys are trying to get into that top 6 position.
You know, Brandon, I think Fanner is an awesome skateboarder. I don't know if he's got the difficulty of tricks for Street League, because he's great. He looks good. He's got tons of snap. He can, amazing street skater. He can ollie over anything. Ollies things that have never been ollied before. But then when you really get to technical tricks,
yeah,
you know.
Well said, because he did have a 3.9, and he did put in a number of tricks on that first attempt. And we'll see what the score comes in here on attempt number 2. But you can tell the judges not really blown away by what he's bringing to the table. A 4.0 there for him.
Yeah, about the same.
So an uphill battle. We'll have to see what he's got in store for the impact section. Here's Evan Smith. He had an impressive 6.7 on his opening flow.
You know, when a trick goes down that you can personally do, like that beam plan in, then I get psyched. I'm like, oh, yeah, all right. Back tail into the bank, 50-50 up, and he landed on 50-50 there on the other side. I don't know if you noticed that. Pretty sick.
Just 20 seconds in, and he's already got a half dozen tricks.
Evan's super creative, fun to watch, wall smasher.
Nice.
You know, it's funny, I was talking about the quarter pipes on the one side. I'm like, yeah, it might be cool if they were sick on quarter pipes on the other side. And he's like, the wall rides are perfect, except for him, you know.
Yeah.
Oh, that's what I wanted to see. That would have been huge.
Same spot again where he comes up short.
Hard trick, Caballero back tail. Going for kickflip wall ride. That was very spontaneous. I think he should have turned around and done something down the stairs.
6.5. He'll hold on to a 6.7. What went wrong there, Clem?
The cab back tail, it's like his front foot got away. His back tail was on the tail on the hubba, and then the front foot didn't make it happen. That's too bad. Hard trick. I would like to see him land that.
Here's DeCenzo, who's already got a 7.7. See if he can best that, but really impressive opening run for him.
Look at this calculated run. He knows exactly what he's doing and how he's going to do it.
And again, he's just looking more and more comfortable with each X Games stop.
When you guys were in Kansas City a couple weeks ago, you know I was in China with DeCenzo.
That's right.
And he won that.
And he won that event.
Yeah, he won that contest. Yeah. I hung with him every day. We went street skating a lot. And such a fun guy to hang around. Just super positive. Wants to skate all day. Wow, nollie heel nose slide.
I mean, similar to Lutska and Manny, it's just he's got the chops to be at that next level. No doubt about it.
Yes. If anyone deserves a spot, he's one of them.
Yeah.
Switch tail slide, ended it with that.
So again, another really clean run as we take another look at Ryan DeCenzo.
Look at that nollie heel nose slide. Perfect.
So his score coming in at a 6.3. He'll hold on to that first score attempt. And here's Albert Nyberg, really just trying to dust anything off to best a 1.8.
Comes out with such a hard trick to start with. Frontside half cab kickflip.
He's going to have to pick up the pace here.
I'm enjoying him though.
Yeah.
He's like, hey, I'm just doing this. One slide. It's like he's like, yeah, I've heard of this Street League contest. He's got the wall ride.
Nyberg closing in on his final 15 seconds of attempt number 2.
It's great. It's great. It's like it's his first run on the course. It's like, yeah, I'm enjoying it. It's pretty fun out here.
Yeah, it feels like he's just like getting his feet wet. It's like a practice session for Nyberg.
This is pretty good. Going for a half cab kickflip. Don't mess up the flowers.
Yeah.
Keep the board out of flowers.
So, a nice little upgrade there to a 2.1 for Nyberg as he sits in 13th place overall.
I don't think so.
No, probably not with these 4 names about to attack the impact section. Ryan DeCenzo, Evan Smith, Chris Fanner, and Albert Nyberg doing a little sweep job.
Some flower damage.
Yeah, you know, Joe C said, hey, don't touch those. Those cost money.
Joe C probably planted those flowers himself, or he made the guys redo it like 3 or 4 times to get it right.
Not afraid to get his hands dirty.
No. He's my favorite talker. They need a word app on the iPhone.
Oh, Chris Fanner.
He was 2 feet above the hubba. That was so gnarly. Kind of what I was just saying. You know, he's not the most technical, but everything he does is so big and powerful. That was a great kickflip.
It was. A little hand slap there. 3.8 as we take another look.
Or a Baker Maker. A little layback.
That's right. So a 3.8 for Fanner. Here's Evan Smith on his first attempt.
You know, Evan is super creative, shreds the quarter pipes. And then don't forget, he's got the hubba stuff. He's got the hubba moves. He can skate that stuff. He just chooses not to usually because he's doing that.
A 5.2 for Evan Smith, jumping him up into 9th place. Here's Ryan DeCenzo. Had a really impressive flow section.
Switch blunt slide for his first trick. Are you kidding me?
Coming out firing, Ryan DeCenzo.
That was sick.
So a 5.4. We got a tweet coming in. Feeling right at home at Descends.
Yes.
Again, each skater getting 5 attempts. We count the 3 top scores. Here's Albert Nyberg.
Woo! There's that half cab kickflip that he landed in a flower bed earlier. Pulls it off proper. Man, that was really nice. And it's not a trick that you see a lot. So it's nice to see. 6.3.
So a 6.3 for Nyberg. Hopefully good things to come for him in the impact section. Here's Chris Fanner.
Going for a fakie flip.
Doesn't catch the board there. That's his first kick away. Remember, each of these skaters can afford a couple of misses, but it's just imperative that you get 3 solid scores on the board. Here's Evan Smith.
Back 360, grabbing the nose. Evan's so tall, he makes the big impact section look, it's not that big now. You know, when he's on it, it's not that tall.
And make no mistake, this is a big impact section.
It's big. When I'm out, roll around the course and stuff, it's massive.
So a 5.1 for DeCenzo would get him into that final group.
Wow.
And that should do it.
Nollie heel nose slide.
So Fabian Lang there, who was on the bubble in 6th place, is officially eliminated as DeCenzo with a 6.7 jumps up into the final group.
Yeah, told you. Now Fabian, you know, he's done. Fabian's out, but, you know, it was great to see him in here. Stoked to see the German talent.
So here's Albert Nyberg.
Wow, he did a half-cab kickflip, then turns around and does a frontside half-cab kickflip. Killing it.
Well, you heard us calling him out in the flow section, and he said, just wait till I get into the impact. A 7.1, and Nyberg's actually positioning himself well to get into that final group.
Look at that. That's a surprise. It really is, but it's nice to see it.
So here's Chris Fanner.
Big snaps on the fakie flip. Can't hold on to it or catch it, really.
You think he's going to try and come back to that one more time?
Yeah, I do. I mean, he doesn't have much strategy. That he's just kind of going for what he can do.
So here's Evan Smith.
Pulls it perfect. Backside 360 ollie, grabbing the nose for extra style. You don't see that as much. And, of course, for fun, dominating that quarter pipe over there with that nose grind to fakie.
So a 7.1 for Evan jumps him up into 7th. Really good position to just land something to get into the final 6 on his next attempt. Here's DeCenzo already in the top 6.
Kickflip Brooks. Putting the nail in the coffin of the top 6.
That's what we call a no-doubter, as DeCenzo will move up with that score.
That was awesome.
A 7.6 for DeCenzo, jumping him all the way up into 3rd place. And now Adrian Bouillard becomes the man on the bubble. Here's Nyberg.
Wow, frontside big heel. He's going for some hard tricks.
That might have put him into the top 6 right there.
Really could. He probably wouldn't even expect it. He's like, oh, really? In the finals? Okay.
So here's Fanner.
Whoa, doing anything to land on that fakie kickflip. Right, if he landed on top of that, he would have broken his board.
So that's his 3rd straight miss on that trick. Evan Smith just needs a 4.2 to get into the top 6.
Going for a switch heel. You notice something happened to Evan's hand at the end of the last section.
Yeah.
He was kind of going like this. Now he's got
shaking it. Yeah.
And he's got the fix all on it, some duct tape, so should be fine.
So that's Evan's 2nd miss. Really important that he lands his 5th and final attempt. Here's DeCenzo.
He's like, I'll just land everything. Switch 270 front board.
And Clem, this is easily the best we've seen of DeCenzo so far this year in the Select Series.
He's feeling so good. You know, out street skating with him in China, he was destroying everything. He was so hyped. I mean, he's just a skate rat through and through. He just wants to skate.
7.7 for Nyberg would get him into the top 6.
He could get that with that trick. The judges could award that. If he lands it clean enough. That's a super hard trick. It could happen.
So there is Bouillard realizing he is facing elimination in that 6th spot. It's like he's talking strategy.
He's talking French is what he's talking.
That's what it is.
You know, out of all the guys I met over the years, like Fanner, Adrian, over the years they've learned English.
Yeah.
And Adrian, not a lick. But you know what? I don't blame him because I didn't learn French either. So it's all good.
Yeah, you know, I blame you just as much as him.
That's right. It's my fault, too. So I still can't talk to Adrian. I've known him for 6 or 7 years. Can't speak a word.
He used the term knowing loosely. Here's Evan Smith, and that one should get him into the top 6 there.
Back Smith. He's over there talking to George from CA. George is trying to coach him the whole way through, and I was talking to him earlier.
So a 4.9 jumps him up into 5th, and Bouillard has been eliminated. Here's DeCenzo, who could take the overall lead with a 7.2.
Wow, switch 180 to crooked grind. Taking the filmer out.
Apologizing to the filmer. Hey, Ryan, you don't have to say sorry to him.
Canadians are so polite.
An 8.4, and Clem, we have a new leader.
And the judges know how hard that trick is. That is a tough one.
So DeCenzo overtaking Lutzka for the top spot, and don't look now, but Gustavo Felipe in that 6th bubble spot as he sits there awaiting Albert Nyberg. If Nyberg can land an 8.0, he would knock out Felipe. Good luck kiss there.
We'll see if it happens.
So Nyberg Can he pull it off and jump into the final?
Wow. Going for a hard flip, extra flip or something. Wow. But, you know, that wasn't even necessary. Yeah, they're talking about it, too.
So Felipe lives on to go to the final. Nyberg all smiles as he's unable to put that one away. So let's take a look, Clem, at the standings heading into the final.
Yunus, great to see him in first place. Psyched on that.
So Lutzka and DeCenzo putting it down respectively as well. And we have got a great field heading into the final. But of course, the big story, the defending Select Series winner, Manny Santiago, not qualifying for the final. Yunus Amrani skating very well on his way to making the final. Greg Lutzka skated so well today. The second-ranked qualifier. And of course, Clem, Ryan DeCenzo putting it down proper. Don't go anywhere. When we come back, the Select Series final. Clem, you know, because these guys go straight in from the prelim to the final. How much are they able to change up, particularly in the flow section?
Yeah, Felipe is so calculated. He nailed that switch flip manual, no problem. Switch back 5-0 down the hubba. Put it together so nicely right now with about 15 seconds left.
Felipe averaging a 6.1 through the first couple of events in the flow section this year. So he's going to keep your eye on that number.
He's going for a 180 switch. Crooks got the tail slide out of it. Judges noticed that. And how he fell on that last trick, that was very dangerous as well. Could have done the rib smack on the ledge.
So a 6.3, well above his average as we take another look there on the Manny pad.
Solid. Switch flip Manny.
And
not making a shot
at fall.
Yeah, I don't hit his nose too late maybe. Ran out of deck space, not sure. Best way to start a run so far today. Evan Smith.
Evan Smith starting from the other side of the course, which of course the guys are free to do. And again, each of the skaters getting 2 45-second attempts, and we count the best score. And Evan Smith, who did not make the final in Brazil, skated really well in Barcelona, and it looks like more of the same today.
The cat back tail is not working for him today.
Yeah. Could not land that in qualifying. Just more of the same here in the final.
He's still going for it, though. Wow. Back 270 front pivot, or switch front pivot coming in, or back 270 nose. Gnarly. That is such a hard trick. You go for the switch front wall ride.
Well, that'll do it with 1 second to go on the clock. Evan Smith definitely knows his run, though, Clem.
Yeah.
And can only approve upon that.
Yeah. I'm curious. Well, it's a little more planned out than he usually is. So I like the fact that he's doing that.
So 2.5 for Evan Smith.
When you're that spontaneous as Evan is and how he skates, it's hard to win a contest like that. It really is. Jack coming in strong with the nollie nose grind.
Jack Curtin skated so well in qualifying.
He's just solid. Going solid all the way around. Going DGK all day.
The DGK Pro trying to put it down proper in today's final.
Taking a fall on the switch nose grind.
Jack closing in on 15 seconds.
Let's see what he's got for us next. Over Crooks. That rail is a normal size rail, but you know when Evan Smith stands next to it, it looks like a
miniature, man.
Yeah, it's like, oh, look at the cute little rail. Switch back 5-0. You notice when Jack does his 5-0s, he doesn't get any tail drag out of it.
No.
He's got the full balance on that. He does it really well.
So a nice ender for Curtin, who really has his run timed out well. As we take another look, as he hits the hub, 4.9 for Curtin.
So good on that. It's so solid on his switchback 5-0s. It looked great. Some of the best ones.
So here's Yunus Amrani, who's skating in his first Select Series final.
Start with a nollie back 180. And do a fakie front 50-50 on the quarter pipe. Going for the nollie 180 switch Crooks and just kind of tiptoeing across the bar right there. Not getting what he wanted out of it. Let's see what he has for us here. Going for that nollie flip out of the back nose grind that he landed in qualifiers.
The almost pro skating out of Belgium.
That trick I just want to see. He already blew this run. It'd be nice to see him go back and give that a try.
So that's going to do it for Eunice. He'll certainly look to improve upon a 1.9.
It'll be easy for him to do.
Up next, though, Greg Lutzka.
Eunice is a contender. I think Lutzka is more likely to beat him still. 270 nose blunt.
I don't know that there's anyone more consistent in the flow section in the Select Series than Greg Lutzka.
No, that's, you know, Lutzka won Tampa Pro 3 times. It's the same format as just the flow section right here, right? But they're 1-minute runs instead of 45 seconds, and he can just go on and on with his tricks. He's got it like that. That was a switchback lip, 180 nose grind, and it's like sometimes you forget, hey, okay, Lutzka's actually doing hard tricks, and he does them over and over and over again.
And the reality is he's a vet of the format. He was one of the original Street League pros back in 2010. So he knows it. He's comfortable with it. That's been proven.
And I'm not sure anyone wants back in Street League more than Lutzka.
Yeah.
You know, he does. It's so obvious.
So a very clean first run for Greg Lutzka. As we look a little earlier in the run, a 7.3 Clem jumping him up into first place.
Got the 270 nose blunt so dialed. Great slow-mo action right there.
It'll be really interesting to see the strategy because Manny through Brazil and Spain has really set the bar. So not having Santiago in it,
yes.
Do we see Lutzka and DeCenzo really rise to the occasion and push these guys?
It really changes so much too with no Manny, and then you figure in Street League, you know, no Naja.
Yeah,
it changes things.
So here's DeCenzo on his first attempt. He was your top-ranked qualifier heading into the final.
Nollie Crooks, we didn't quite get up on it. Ended up with a nose slide and a 360 flip. It's great filler, though. You got to do that stuff. Instead of just riding over, you throw that 360 flip in there. That was a lot of tricks right there in about a 10-second time frame. Then the 360 flip, the 5-0 to fake in, the switch tail slide back to back.
He's got this timed out well.
Yeah.
For one final.
Wow, switch Smith grind, so good. That was a great run.
Better than Lutzka's?
It's going to be close. It's going to be a close one. I'm going within 0.2.
So a 6.4.
Wow, judges weren't loving it as much as I thought they would be.
So that jumps DeCenzo up into second place. And we begin off the top for attempts number 2 here in the flow section, Felipe Gustavo.
There's your pick.
You know, I just think Felipe will rise to the occasion, especially adding in the control section, which we did not see in qualifying, which is essentially a best trick part of the contest. Brings out the best in Felipe.
Oh, you got that right. Got him into the 9 club.
That's right.
Nollie nose slide.
A 9.2. I believe that's the only 9 club we've seen out of the Select Series so far this year.
Get a little sketchy on the 50-50, 180 switch crooks. You know, it's interesting how the different strategy of skaters, right? You know, like Felipe thinks of the quarter pipes as an afterthought, and Evan uses them in his run.
Yeah.
You know, so Felipe's like, I'm using this thing to turn around and get to the next ledge.
So as we take another look at Felipe, back-to-back 6.3s.
Not holding on to the manual again there.
So he stays in third place. Here's Evan Smith skating with that raw power.
Oh, what happened there?
Shit! That kills him from being able to do the wall ride. Gets Jack Curtin out of the way.
Hear him say sick. You know, he's got a sense of humor. Going for a long, crooked grind.
I'm surprised X Games didn't book his band for some of the music going on.
Oh, yeah, the Drowning Clowns?
That's right.
Have you ever seen them?
I haven't seen them live.
I haven't either. I would like to, because I like Evan's energy and his presence.
Really not what it's like on stage.
Yeah, it must be great, man. He's a pleasure to be around and talk to. Switch front wall ride, not an easy one.
So that's going to do it for Evan's second run. And not a really impressive flow section for Evan.
Did not come together.
Gets up there, though.
He hit the top. That was crazy. It was way up there.
So a 1.7 for Evan Smith as he sits in 5th place.
Yeah, he just wasn't putting it together. He wasn't thinking. What's going on? Everyone falling apart right here? Jack Curtin on the nollie nose grind. He's done so many times today.
Yeah, Jack skated really well in the flow section in qualifying, and having a little trouble keeping his footing here in the final. He's got a 4.9 already. Trying to best that on attempt number 2.
Switch nose grind. Solid. Turning it around right here.
Again, what's at stake here? Winning the Select Series event. Just the ability to skate in the Street League qualifying prelim tomorrow.
It's a lot of work to get there, and the odds are against you.
Yeah.
Go through what? We have 14 skaters today?
Yeah. And think about that for a second. A 2.5 for Jack Curtin, so he'll hold on to his 4.9. You know, the winner of the Select Series today had to skate through qualifying to get into the final, skate through the final, and then they've got to skate in the prelim of Street League. And if they were able to get to that, they would have to get in the final. Think of how many different forms of a contest you had to get through, and how many tricks in your bag you're going to need.
Yeah, and you got a guy like Manny who did all that and ended up in 3rd place with a bronze in Barcelona.
So impressive. Here's Yunus Amrani trying to best that 1.9, well on his way so far to attempt number 2.
I'm clapping up here in the booth because Yunus, as we were talking about that and evaluating, Yunus has been shredding. That nose grind nollie flip was the icing. Look at that. Switch tail slide 270 out. He's got a few seconds left. If he lands this trick, it could be the highest scoring run of the day. And he loses on the hard flip. You can hear the team managers and the industry down there making all that noise. Wow.
That's the loudest we've heard of people out here so far today. A 7.2 for Yunus.
Look at that. That was unreal. That nose grind nollie flip out was so good.
So that jumps Amrani up into 2nd place. Here's Lutzka, your current leader, already a 7.3.
Brandon, Yunus got me hyped right there. That like re-energized me.
I like that.
That was great.
Nothing like a pumped up Clem in the booth.
That's right, man.
You haven't even had a Red Bull today,
I start
have you?
breaking stuff. No, I did earlier, but I could use another one if anyone's listening. You can find the booth.
Your request will go unheard. I guarantee you that.
I know. The power of the microphone is not so powerful here when you're hidden in the booth.
So on top of the winner today, also qualifying for the Street League prelim tomorrow, remember the top 2 ranked guys by season's end here in the Select Series move on to Street League in 2014.
Yeah, so our top 2 right now are Manny and Lutzka.
That's
correct?
right.
Okay. And it's like Lutzka knows that. We talked about this earlier how Lutzka kind of sandbagged at the end of in Barcelona.
But it was actually the smart play.
It really was, but at the time I didn't notice that at all.
I'm fired up about it because it seemed like he wasn't going for the win.
Yeah.
Oh my God. I can't believe it. Clem getting a Red Bull.
Here, listen to this.
Speaking of Red Bull, here's Ryan DeCenzo. Sitting in 3rd place with a 6.4. Trying to jump up.
Nollie heel nose slide. You know, I said Lutzka's my pick. Could be DeCenzo. That switch Smith grind.
Clem's pick is anyone who's in the lead.
You know,
what a bandwagoner.
No loyalty.
I'm switching the pick.
Loyalty.
We'll wait till the standings come out before you make another pick.
You know what it is?
A 7.3 for DeCenzo, jumping him up into the top spot.
I just get psyched on good skateboarding.
You do.
That's all.
I love to see it. Take another look.
Switch Smith grind, super good. I'm a 40-year-old skate nerd. I just like watching this stuff.
So the standings after the flow section show DeCenzo and Lutzka in the top spots with the 7.3s respectively, and Yunus Amrani rounding out the top 3.
The quarter pipe. So he's been doing a kickflip front nose grind to fakie. That's what he's been doing. So I want to see him land that.
So Evan's score comes in at a 3.4.
It's funny, he got a 3.4, but
he's asking, did they score me?
As far as he's concerned, that wasn't an 8.
So here's Jack Curtin on his first attempt.
Wow, switch flip front feeble. No joke.
So no score for him there. As we take another look where it went wrong.
Didn't quite catch it properly. It's a super hard trick to do switch.
Here's Felipe Gustavo.
Whoa! Switch flip back tail. He should have done that in his flow runs. Look at that. He did it so easily.
Let's check it out one more time. An 8.1 for Felipe. That jumps him up into first place. And if you're just joining us, Felipe was Clem's original pick to win, and then he unceremoniously walked away from it.
I abandoned him. I got Lutzka now.
He's on the first place bandwagon. There's Eunice Ronnie who kicks it away for a bail. Again, each skater getting 4 attempts. We count the best score. Here is Greg Lutzka, who looked oh so impressive in the flow section. What's he got on his first attempt in the control?
Big flip front nose. Very good.
That rail seems to be a popular feature thus far for these guys in the control section.
Got the slow-mo action. Perfect.
Textbook, a 6.4 for Lutzka.
Yeah, you notice the difference in scores between that and Felipe's switch flip back tail. Big difference there. Significantly harder trick that Felipe did. Wow, going the distance there. Switch tail slide. 270 out, DeCenzo.
Ryan DeCenzo says, I want to win one of these. Look from up above.
Nice. It's a great angle.
So he's 6.1 coming in for DeCenzo. Here's Evan Smith.
I think he can improve on his 3.4.
Yeah, we'll see if he comes back to it.
I think he's going to work on the same trick back to back, because you know no one else here is doing that trick. They're not skating the quarter pipes like he is. It's more of a focal point for Evan.
So here's Jack Curtin.
Going for the switch flip front feeble. Didn't even get close on that one. Banded up inboard.
He'll get that though.
It's got to be tough going for that. That's a super difficult trick. That might be one of the hardest ones being tried out here at this point.
Here's Gustavo. Tough to see from that angle, but we know he didn't land it.
I think that bumps with Evan was good luck. I'm feeling this right here. Going for the nose grind, then a 180 while on the hubba to switch back 5-0.
That would be a score right there.
You don't see that too often. I'm curious what the judges would even score that. That is a very unique trick.
It's interesting because this is Eunice's first final. We've never seen him in the control section, so it's neat to see what he's got in store here. Here's Greg Lutzka, currently in second place, had a 6.4 on his first attempt.
Lutzka waiting patiently. Prepare. Look at that
focus.
Yeah. Oh, I love it. See, that's why I'm backing him so hard. What?
Yes.
Varial heel nose slide. Look at that. He is psyched. He is psyched.
Greg Lutzka, as we see that one more time, and just puts it down for a 6.7.
Not as much love as I thought he would get. That's how it goes. That's judging skateboarding.
So here's DeCenzo, Clem. The game planning?
Yeah, I'm not sure what he's doing right here, but okay. You want to start out with a 50-50 instead of just dropping in. That's cool. Uh-oh. Needs a little more wax.
Yeah.
He's always got the wax in the back pocket, too. He's that dude.
So no score for DeCenzo there, holding on to that 6.1. Here's Evan Smith.
I'd like to see him make this. What is going on?
Interesting. He
Oh, want to go for a switch flip front board. I'm thinking just to have something.
Just to get it.
Yeah, just to get a score.
Again, your top score does count, and it's a 5.6 there for Curtin, but it's essential that you do get something on the board.
Yeah, you got to get something. You don't want a 0.
So here's Felipe, who's already got an 8.1 off his first attempt.
He knows whatever it is to beat the 8.1, it's going to have to be pretty tough.
So Gustavo stays in first place with one more attempt to go. Here's Yunus Amrani.
What?
Wow.
Unreal. That was crazy.
Yunus Amrani putting it down proper in the control section.
Look at this slow-mo. Nose grind, switching it over to switch back with 5-0. Unreal.
The judges loving it, an 8.1.
Good for him.
Tying the high section score also with Felipe, but jumps him up into first place outright. Here's Greg Lutzka.
You know, you expect a switch flip back tail from Felipe. You just don't expect that trick that Yunus did.
Yunus Amrani skating like a guy who wants to get a piece of the action in the Street League prelim tomorrow.
I like DeCenzo's strategy. He's like, I'm not dropping in. I'm starting with a 50-50. This is what I want to do. Now he'll nose slide. Ooh, you could hear it kind of stick.
Yeah.
Maybe got a little shoe drag. I think he's going for more than that, though.
Yeah, you can tell. Let's take another look, Clem. See if you can, if your hypothesis is right there.
You know, maybe he was going to shove it out of it. Maybe he was going to 270 backside out of it. I'm not sure.
It's getting stuck though. 5.4 for DeCenzo. He's holding on to that 6.1. And here's Evan, who looks like he's going to go 4th try on this trick.
Oh man, I was so pulling for him. I was being quiet on purpose, just to extra concentration for him. That's a surprise. And right now he's probably going.
So what's going on here, Clem? It seems like each time he's a little bit
in
left
the ramp
of where he was going.
Yeah, he was in the ramp too much at first. Then on that last one, he's too much on the deck. He's just not catching it proper and landed in the front nose grind. It's too bad that that's how it's going, because it's such a great trick. It's unique for this course. No one else is using the quarter pipes like him. I really wanted to see him land it.
Well, here's Jack Curtin. He's already got that 5.6.
And he forgot his skateboard on that one.
No, just couldn't get it.
Not working out for Jack. Got Felipe.
So here's Felipe. He's going to go back to it.
Wow. Nollie flip front crooks. Super hard trick.
So no score for Felipe there. He'll hold on to that 8.1. And here's your current leader, Yunus Amrani, on his 4th and final attempt.
Holding on to it.
Wow. That would have been massive.
You know, when I first saw Yunus years ago, that was one of his go-to moves, the front 5-0 360 flip out. He's been doing it for a long time. It's sometimes, I guess, you can go back to your old tricks because they're so hard.
Yeah.
No one's doing that. So it actually, it actually overflips.
Flips, yeah, you can see it.
If that ledge wasn't so high, he would have landed
it perfect, yeah.
Yeah. He just gave it way too much and too hard of a flick.
Well, Yunus stays in first place. Here's Lutzka currently in 3rd place.
That's like a 720. Yeah. That's like going way around. 270 nose blunt, 270 out.
Can't land it on the out for a 2nd straight time, so he holds on to that 6.7. And here's Ryan DeCenzo.
It's interesting how Lutzka dominates that flow section.
Yeah.
You get him in the control, and it's not his strongest point. But there he goes again. DeCenzo, same trick, but he's going for something out of it.
You can tell.
He just can't get it together, and you heard his frustration afterwards.
What do you think he was trying to get into there?
I don't know, man. Maybe nollie flip out or nollie heel out or 270 backside out. I'm not sure.
So 4.6 for DeCenzo, and the control section is officially in the books, and it's Yunus Amrani, maybe shocking a few people, in first place.
It's a surprise, you know. And I didn't think Felipe was going to be beating Lutzka at this point either.
So an interesting lineup as we head into the impact section. Again, each skater getting 6 attempts and we count the 4 best scores. We begin with Evan Smith, currently sitting in 6th place. What's he got for attempt number 1?
Well, I was gonna say the back 360. He was going for the switch heel.
Yeah.
Once again, making the gap look small. Can't help but notice the flowers, the details.
The Bavarian beer garden theme. I'm digging it.
I love it.
Jack Curtin.
Whoa, barely hanging on to that switch 5-0. He knows it.
Over the camera cable.
If we see a slow-mo of that, look at this. Whoa! See his truck almost coming off. He hung on. That's great.
We're getting flashbacks of Malto in Kansas City there. Here is Ryan DeCenzo.
He has the switch blunt slide on lock so tight.
Curtin, by the way, a 5.4 on that trick attempt puts him up into 1st, but it's short-lived as DeCenzo there gets a 6.2, leapfrogging him for the top spot. But of course, Clem, this is what we love about the impact section, that ping-pong effect. We're going to start to see guys bouncing in and out of 1st place.
The first time I called this with you, Brandon, I'm like, what is he talking about? And now I'm so, I enjoy it so much, the ping-pong effect. Back and forth winners.
So Greg Lutzka kicks away his 1st attempt. Remember, it's important to get those points on the board early. Here's Felipe Gustavo on attempt number 1.
Nollie Crooks going with something he knows he can definitely land. You're probably going to see Felipe do that 2 more times.
As we take one more shot at this, a 4.7 they give him.
Did you see the style on that back foot? He like rolled it off there so stylishly.
So here's Yunus Amrani. Whoa.
But landed at first try this time. Tail slide 270 out. Getting a round of applause from his peers because they all know that is no joke on that hubba.
8.1 for Yunus Amrani.
Judges are loving that one.
And the bar has been set, Clem.
Judges are feeling it. Evan going for that switch heel. Whoa! Beautiful catch. Extra stylish. I mean, I would have to go mid to high 7s on that one if I was a judge.
Well, you are not. The judges aren't nearly as generous. A 6.8 for Evan Smith, keeping him in 6th place, but a very nice trick nonetheless.
Yeah, it looked good. Great landing.
So here's Jack Curtin, already a 5.4 to his name. This is where the strategy comes into play. You got to make these early attempts.
Switch nose grind. I mean, has he fallen on one of those today?
I don't think so.
Yeah,
maybe going back to qualifying. I don't know.
Maybe on the rail, but not on the hubba.
So a 6.7 for Jack Curtin, jumping him up into 2nd place, skating it like a vet, understanding the strategy at stake. Here's DeCenzo.
Nollie heel, nose slide. Wow. And I'm still curious what he was trying in the last section because it was the same trick right there.
Here's a cool view from behind. A 6.8 for him, Clem. Jumps up DeCenzo into 1st place.
A great view, and it shows how tall those hubbas are.
Even for the tall, lanky DeCenzo. Here's Greg Lutzka.
Big spin nose slide.
Greg getting back on track after a 1st miss, scoring on his 2nd attempt. A 7.1, and he jumps up into 4th place.
Very nice.
Again, the winner from today's final moves on to the Street League prelim tomorrow. Here's Felipe Gustavo.
Switchback 5-0.
A very confident Felipe Gustavo skating out here today.
He is, right? Doesn't he look like he's got it like that? It must have been the kiss from his girlfriend
And
earlier.
he eked into the final. Remember, he was on that bubble spot. A 5.3 for Felipe, jumping him up into 2nd place.
It's great to see him out there. Felipe is one of the nicest kids I've ever talked to.
Woo! Yunus Amrani, completely unfazed by his 1st Select Series final. So impressive.
Hard flipping like a madman here. Look at that. He's like, oh, not
flashes of Nige at Barcelona.
Say, oh, you got a hard flip? I got a hard flip.
An 8.0, so an 8.1 and an 8.0 back-to-back for Yunus Amrani.
That's exactly what you expect to see out of Evan. Back 360.
Evan Smith.
Throwing a hand plant down for fun. Evan always having a good time.
So a 6.9, and it's been, I think we've got 10 consecutive makes here, Klaus.
This is great. fakie 5-0, one of the favorite tricks of mine that Jack Curtin does. He does it so good. He's been doing it forever. He's got it locked. I like when he does it on round rails especially, but not to settle for the hugger this time.
The game planning so clear for Jack Curtin. A 7.5, 3 straight makes, jumping him up into second place. Here's Ryan DeCenzo.
Kickflip crooks. How many tricks we on landed straight
I think
now?
we're up to 12 now.
Woo.
Guys just getting clinical in the impact section. A 7.4. We have a new leader, and it's Ryan DeCenzo.
This is great.
By far the most consistent skating we've seen in the impact section so far this year in the Select Series. Here's Greg Lutzka.
DeCenzo was up there studying. Now has Lutzka run out of gas? He was destroying it in practice, killed it in the qualifying, and man, he's kind of running out right here, running low.
A second miss for Lutzka, cannot afford another one. Here's Gustavo. He'll come back to that.
Having to step off last second.
What went wrong right here, Clem?
Okay, so when he came off, he has it. Board kind of goes to the right, body goes to the left.
Just couldn't balance his weight out.
He couldn't do it. Maybe if his trucks were a tad bit looser, he could have pulled that off. But
so here's Yunus Amrani, who's got back-to-back 8s.
Nollie frontside 360, textbook. Looking so good.
I'm just going to say, Clem, he has been the most impressive guy out here today.
He has got the crowd backing him. I first met Yunus about 5 years ago. Couldn't speak English so well. Now, totally fluent. Was hanging out talking to him the other day. Getting some pop on that. Nollie frontside 360. Some people call it a nollie cab. Either works.
So that 7.4 jumps Yunus back up into first place. Here is Evan Smith.
Switch varial heel.
Whoa.
Better than how he did the switch heel.
Heavy.
That was awesome.
Heavy for Evan Smith.
Quite a surprise.
So
look at that.
We take another look. An 8.0 for Evan Smith.
What? Okay, now the judges got it right.
So
that was proper.
Jumps him up into fourth.
Wow.
And here's Jack Curtin sitting in third place.
Going for a switchback Smith. Trying to get up there like P-Rod. That's his move, man.
Unable to hold on to that one, so third is where he will stay. Now here's DeCenzo. A 5.1 would give him the lead.
His first bail in this section.
You're right, he had skated flawlessly up until that point. Now here's Greg Lutzka. He's already kicked away a couple. He's got a 7.1. Desperate for a make here on attempt number 4.
Whoa. Hanging on the best he possibly could.
A no score for Lutzka there, so that is his third miss.
Look how good that looked, too. He popped off, landed, and then the board just went forward. Yeah. Couldn't keep his weight on top of it. Too bad, because that looked very proper on the kickflip front crooks. Great trick. Great choice of tricks.
So Lutzka will stay in sixth.
He had no control because his back foot wasn't on the tail. Oh. He's like, what's up, P-Rod? Look at my switchback tail. That was really good.
Felipe Gustavo with the switchback tail, a 7.5.
Nice. Very nice. I don't think you could have done it much better than that.
That puts him in third place. Here is your current leader, Yunus Amrani.
He was going for a switchback nose grind.
Yeah.
Didn't work out. Not that, I don't know if he's going to, he could maybe improve that 7.4 a little bit.
So it wasn't a miss per se, a 3.8. It does get points on the board, but he will look to replace that certainly as we count the best 4 out of 6. Here's Evan Smith sitting in 5th place.
Yeah, when you're going for a nose grind, you just lay it down to a 50-50. It's not exactly a fall, but you know, we know what they're going for. Evan having a good time.
You see a tweet from Heavenly_Golden. The X Games are amazing, especially Street League. They're killing it out here. Here's Jack Curtin sitting in 4th.
Whoa! Switchback Smith. So good. Jack Curtin laying it down. You hear his peers making noise for him over there.
That'll jump him up an 8.1, tying a section score high all the way up to 2nd place is Jack Curtin.
That was so properly locked. Very nice.
So here's DeCenzo. An 8.9 or better would give him the lead.
Switch 270 front board. Right into the flower bed. Josie is going to have your head for that one, DeCenzo. You're going down.
It's just so picturesque. An 8.0 for DeCenzo, jumping him up in the second place as he chips away. And he's going to have a shot at the lead on his 6th and final attempt.
Now you notice these are hubbas, but the board fits over them.
Yeah. Because
they're very thin hubbas.
As we said before, a very short space this course is, the footprint. So they are skating right into those middle obstacles.
Which to me, it makes the flow section so exciting, you know? It's a boom, boom, trick, trick, trick.
So here's Lutzka.
Going for that varial heel nose slide. Not working out for him.
Just not his day today.
No, and it's like it was his day in practice earlier today. I'll tell you, he won that. He was killing it.
He skated the impact section so consistently in both Brazil and Spain.
Yeah.
Just having trouble staying on his board.
Yeah, too bad for Lutzka. No, he wanted it. He was out there trying. It's just not going to happen.
So here is Yunus Amrani, who is the current leader. Trying to best a 3.8. That'll do it.
Switchback nose grind. So good and so difficult. Wow, great trick. Look at that. Perfect balance. That angle was good to see because, you know, from the front angle, it's like, did he put his wheel down? But not that. There you could tell he did not at all.
I don't think he saw it on screen, but Felipe actually kicked away his 5th attempt. So here's Evan Smith on attempt number 6.
For a Cavallarial. Not working out.
So that'll do it for Evan Smith. And 5th place is where he will stay. So here's Jack Curtin. The best he can do is 2nd place. He would need a 9. He would need to join the 9 club to get to it, a 9.1 or better. Wow. They're letting him hear it.
Yeah, he's got fans. People like Jack Curtin. They like the way he skates. Here's the replay. Switch flip 50-50.
So an 8.0 for Jack Curtin. That puts him in 3rd.
Hey, he went for it, man. I give Jack Curtin a long-distance high five for his attempts, man. He really, really tried.
So, Clem, here's Ryan DeCenzo, who's in 2nd place, and it is official. Yunus Amrani cannot be caught. Yunus Amrani will win today's event, even with these 6th and final attempts to go for the rest of the field. Here's DeCenzo sitting in 2nd.
Going for the glory. Valley heel crooked grind. That's DeCenzo's style, though. I'm still going to try the hardest trick possible.
So DeCenzo stays in 2nd. So up next, Greg Lutzka. But it's Yunus Amrani who's already patched up the win.
I see Yunus
here in the Select Series final.
He's holding back the smiles. I just saw him like break it for a second.
So here's Lutzka. Just not his day in the impact section. No. His 5th miss, the 4th consecutive here in the impact.
I wonder what Felipe is going to go for.
Felipe is sitting in 4th place.
Going for the nollie flip crooks.
Unable to stick it there. That is his 3rd miss. 4th place is where he will stay. And here is a victory lap for Yunus Amrani. He was perfect in the impact section.
Look at that.
Advances to the Street League Skateboarding prelim going down tomorrow. What's he got for his 6th and final attempt?
It's like some crazy.
Right now, maybe he's just going to do like an ollie grab or a frontside 180 or something, you know? Board slide. Now like a big spin heel flip. He's like, he was going to go out with a bang if he landed that. Didn't need to.
Doesn't land it, but it doesn't matter. Yunus Amrani winning the Street League Skateboarding Select Series final, and he advances to tomorrow's Street League prelim. And as you can see, the rest of the field pumped on that, including Manny Santiago, who was unable to battle him in the final. P-Rod over there giving him props. And Clem, this is a great day for Eunice, who didn't even qualify for the final in the previous 2 stops.
Yeah, you got that right. And his Nike teammates are now going, uh-oh, now we got to skate against them. Shane, Paul, Luan.
And I'll tell you what, Clem, with a round score of 46.8, he could be a threat.
He's a contender
tomorrow.
for sure.
So here's the highlights of today, and Clem, it was Manny Santiago surprisingly not able to get out of the prelim. But we moved on to the flow section of the final where DeCenzo put it down, and we thought early he might walk away with it, but it was control section where Felipe Gustavo put his name down, but then Yunus Amrani came on strong.
Right here was one of my favorites of the whole contest. So good.
And then it was the impact section, all Yunus,
where he just kept dominating, and that's it. He's like taking it home. What a great guy to win. It's like you didn't really expect it. Going into this, you and I really didn't talk about Yunus too much, you know, Brandon?
So here now, the final standings. Yunus Amrani again winning it convincingly. But Clem, your final thoughts on today's final?
It's such a surprise to see Lutzka in 6th. I had him in 1st, 2nd, or 3rd. I thought he'd be in the top. Great to see Yunus, and I'm looking forward to seeing Yunus stepping into Street League and giving those guys a run for it.
So for continued coverage of X Games Munich, log on to xgames.com. Be sure to join us tonight at 8 p.m. Eastern on ESPN2 for more X Games coverage from Munich. For Brandon Graham and Ryan Clemens, thank you for joining us here at the Select Series Final. So long from Munich.